Hello and welcome to Deep Insight. Tommy Robinson is back. In his latest interview, the activist outlined what he calls a cultural revolution, a movement he's branded Unite the Kingdom. He says Britain is facing an existential threat. He points to Islamic immigration, political elites, and a corrupt media establishment. To his supporters, he's speaking hard truths. To his critics, he's stoking division and fear. So today, we're going to break down Robinson's message, what he claims, how it fits into Britain's political landscape, and why it sparks such heated debate. Central to Robinson's argument is what he calls the Islamic problem. He insists the immigration debate in Britain isn't about race, it's about religion, specifically Islam. He points out that Sikh and Hindu communities have largely integrated and argues that without Islamic immigration, Britain wouldn't even be talking about an immigration crisis. Then come the numbers. Robinson cites figures like 40,000 Muslims on terror watch lists, almost as many as Britain has active soldiers. He claims that more British Muslims joined ISIS in just 3 years than joined the UK military in 50. And he says over 1 million Muslims in Britain want Sharia law, which he interprets as rejecting democracy itself. Add to this his allegation that Islamic communities are linked to grooming gangs and violent crime, with rape statistics, he says, skyrocketing from 8,000 cases in 2003 to 88,000 in 2023. These claims are shocking. But here's the problem. Robinson often presents them without context. For example, being on a watch list doesn't necessarily mean someone is an imminent threat. And crime statistics can rise for many reasons, including changes in reporting and awareness. The data is complex, but his framing is simple. Britain is not divided by race. It is divided between Islam and everyone else. Robinson doesn't just point fingers at Muslim communities. He saves some of his fiercest criticism for Britain's leaders and institutions. He says the government has abandoned the so-called silent majority. He points to Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who won 9 million votes in a nation of 70 million, as proof that politics no longer represents ordinary people, and he accuses the system of trying to silence him. Before one of his rallies, he says Westminster Council revoked the license for speaker systems just 2 days before, deliberately provoking chaos. He claims he was detained under terrorism legislation, not because he was suspected of terrorism, but because police wanted to intimidate him and investigate his funding. Robinson also calls the judiciary corrupt and accuses the media of being nothing more than a weapon of the state. He contrasts their reports of 110,000 rally attendees with his own claim of millions, pointing to 2 million live viewers on X, formerly Twitter. In his view, this is part of a deliberate campaign to make his name toxic so that people won't listen to his message. Robinson doesn't see his fight as just a British one. He frames it as part of a wider Western counter-revolution, his next big rally called Unite the Kingdom, Unite the West. And he dreams of leaders like Donald Trump, Viktor Orban, and Geert Wilders joining the stage. He calls his movement Britain's MAGA, and he credits Elon Musk as a crucial ally. According to Robinson, Musk amplified his documentaries on grooming gangs, paid his legal bills when he faced terrorism-related charges, and fought for his rights in solitary confinement. To Robinson, X is a lifeline, a platform outside government control, where his movement can finally show its scale. Without Musk, he believes his message would never have reached millions. He also praises American conservatives like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump for defending free speech in Britain, something he claims British politicians no longer care about. In his narrative, Britain's fight is the front line of a global culture war. But when it comes to politics at home, Robinson doesn't find many allies. He's especially hostile toward Nigel Farage and Reform UK. He calls Farage an elitist banker, a sellout who condemns his movement while protecting the establishment. Robinson says Reform UK forbids open discussion about Islam or transgender issues, and that party officials even sign gagging orders. For him, that's proof the party isn't truly on the side of the people. Instead, Robinson backs a new party, Advance UK, led by Ben Habib, an ex-Muslim of Pakistani descent. Robinson argues this strengthens rather than weakens his case. Habib knows the dangers of Islam from the inside. You see, and the party gives a home to politicians who were ousted for raising controversial issues. He hopes Advance UK can transform his cultural rebellion into political power. So, where does this leave us? In his interviews, Tommy Robinson presents himself as the leader of a counter-revolution, a man fighting to defend Britain from what he calls cultural and demographic annihilation. He says elites have betrayed the people, the media has silenced the truths, and only a movement like Unite the Kingdom can save the nation. To his supporters, this message is electrifying. To his critics, it's deeply dangerous. A narrative that scapegoats a single religious community, stokes division, and oversimplifies Britain's challenges. Whether you see him as a truth teller or a provocateur, one thing is clear. Robinson has tapped into real anger. And with international allies and uncensored platforms, his movement is louder than ever. The question is, will it reshape Britain's future or simply deepen the divides already tearing it apart? What do you think? Is Robinson voicing the concerns of a forgotten majority, or is his movement more of a threat than a solution? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you like this video, do like, share, and subscribe.